customers that you're working for that week. The liquor system in the United States is called the three-tier system. If I'm Budweiser and I'm the supplier, so I make the brand. If I'm the supplier, I make it. My hands get in there, I put all the ingredients together, and I make that brand. The supplier sells it to a distributor, and a distributor's a bunch of trucks with a bunch of product, and they go everywhere and they drop it off. They drop it off to a retailer, and that could be a bar, a restaurant, or a grocery store. You cannot, in the United States, a supplier cannot sell directly to a bar. Budweiser has to have a distributor in every market, so it's called a three-tier system. So before we even get to the person we're giving the sample to, the supplier, the distributor, and the guy who owns the bar or the store, the retailer, are involved. So those three customers all have to be happy before we even go out and talk to the person that we're handing a product to. So we have to understand who all four of those people are during the pre-planning phase. We will tell you who you're being hired by, or you'll simply see the name of the brand in your promotion description. You can go online, and what you want to be finding out is who's the supplier, who's the distributor, we can share that with you, and what do I need to know about the brand. If you can learn 5 things about every brand, that's all we ask. And I watched Sean do it last week at a Corona Light promo, and no, it wasn't a Corona Light, it was Pacifico. So I got in the car, and Sean's our new manager in Boston. He's working pretty closely with me. And I asked him, did he Google the product? I didn't give him anything. It literally dawned on me that we're headed for this promo. It's kind of a high-end event. What do you know about Pacifico? And he rattled off 5 things that he found on the website that interested him. He knew why the bottle was brown. He knew how many calories. He knew what the sales were. So you can pick. If it's specific and we need to feed it to you, we will. If not, go to the website, learn 5 things that interest you, because if you are interested, you'll remember. If you remember, you'll deliver the information. The more times you do that, don't rely on those same 5 brands. In fact, if you learned 5 last time, learn 5 more the next time. Because guess what? Eventually you're going to know 20, and that pretty much makes you hireable by some of our clients. It's a very good way to teach yourself those brands, and you will know more than certainly the people that you're talking to. But during the pre-planning phase, to me, it's people, places, and things. So know the people, the target consumer. If you're doing a promotion for Glenmorangie, it's a very different consumer than Jim Beam apple shots, right? So think about who you're promoting to. If you're promoting to a Scotch, dress the part. If you're promoting to guys doing shots and bars that are full of girls and guys at a party, dress the part for that. So think about the people. Know the places. Where is it? How long is it going to take me to get there with traffic? And where am I going to park? The best thing to do is figure that out, because in some cases it's going to become a little overwhelming. You're going to realize you have to leave an hour early, and you're going to have to pay $20 for parking. And on a Monday or Tuesday, when you're planning your week, that's a great time to have that conversation, because we'll help you. We can make that happen. If it's Saturday and you're stuck in traffic and you're going to be late, and now you want me to pay for parking, I see that as your mess up. It might not have been. Monday we probably could have predicted it and dealt with it. When I get that call on a Saturday, it's a whole different story. So know your places, and let's just plan at the beginning of the week. And we will do whatever we have to do to get you there in a timely manner and make sure that you park somewhere safe. So don't be afraid to ask, but if you ask on Saturday, it's way more reason to be afraid. And things, people, places, and things. What things do you need to execute your promotion? Is it a credit card for a bar tab? Is it cups, a snack bowl, and snacks? What are the things that you need? And it's our responsibility to train you going in, and then it's your responsibility, once you know, to ask us over and over. Speaking of things, we do have some supply kits with us tonight, so anybody who wants to leave, we have some ice buckets, a whole bunch of snacks. In Massachusetts, it's required to have a snack on the table. So we have sample cups, we have snacks, we have bowls, and we have snack bowls, as well as tablecloths. So everybody take a few kits with them, and then you'll be a couple of supply kits ahead. If you don't have them and you're headed to a promotion, there are 2 options. You can be proactive, and you can drive to Boston, and you can come once a month, and we will load you up with supplies, and you'll never run out. Anytime you're running low, come back, and we'll load you up again. You can come to Boston, and you can get a Christmas tree gift shop card, and we can give it to you. Find the easiest way to do it for you. We want you to be ahead of the game. I never want you to lay out your money, have to chase it. So if you come up with a creative way to do it, or you've gone to the Christmas tree shops and you just want to give us a receipt, but stay ahead of the curve, just do it. The goal is to make sure you have what you need, and we'll find a way to do that no matter what. Again, the last thing to do is get to the promotion. You don't have cups, you don't have a bottle opener, and then you're in a panic and you want me to figure out how to pay for it over the phone. Think ahead and we can make it happen. And that's the pre-planning. It's Monday, Tuesday. It's booking your promos 2-3 weeks out so you can plan ahead. And that's people, places, and things in that pre-planning phase. Does anyone have any questions or feel like we don't give you the information you need?
Last week we did a promo at Hans Garden. They did not accept Amex.
Okay.
What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, we should give you a backup Visa, but it's scary to have so many credit cards floating around all the time. You should text your manager right away, but we should also note that Hans Garden doesn't take Amex, and when we book that promo with you, and the same thing with you guys, if you've been there before, remind us going in, and then we can give you that card. You know, the worst case scenario is you guys should all, right now in your phones, does everybody know, raise your hand if you know who your manager is and who you get your promos from. Okay. Raise your hand if you have that person's number in your phone. Excellent. Raise your hand if you have my number. Okay, you guys should all take my number. I love when you call me actually on the weekends. I love when I get to solve a problem. I love knowing that everybody's at work and that it's getting, so I like getting calls, and I think I can solve problems better than anyone. I've sent pizzas to accounts for girls who are going to be late. I've sent limos to pick up girls whose cars have broken down. I'm actually a good problem solver. So you should all put my phone number in your phones right now. It's 617-224-8181. We also all work as a team. So if you can't get your manager on the phone, OSHA can help, Jim can help. But there's no, you know, we all work on weekends, and it's never a bother to help you out of a pinch. Particularly if you've gotten there on time, you're dressed, you're doing your thing, and the mistake is ours or our clients. We want those calls. Any other pre-planning questions? So in the performance phase, we came up with a lot of P words, but you know, we need you to be prepared. Arrive in your uniform. I know that many of you come to work and then you're going to your next job. You can't walk into the account with your uniform in your bag, run into the bathroom, and then come back out ready for the promo. Go to the restaurant next door, change in your car, walk through the door of your account in your uniform. I get that you might change at the gas station. I would honestly change from an entire business suit into a promo outfit between West Bridgewater and Boston, and I could actually paint my nails. I mean, I had it down, and I could do it. I was driving, I figured out where to change the shirt. It can be done. I know you can do it, and it doesn't have to happen in the account. I want you to walk in, shake hands with the manager, dressed and ready to go. I want you to put effort into getting ready. You know, no Uggs in your hair in a ponytail. I love you all, but unless you're Cindy Crawford, that is not a look that works. And it's not that it's not attractive, it looks like you're not professional and ready to work. So put on your heels, put on your lip gloss, shave your handsome head, do what you have to do, but be ready to go to work. Set up your plan of attack. When you get in there, assess the room and say, okay, I've got a bar tab. Who am I going to order it from? How much of a tip am I going to give him? If the bartender knows he's getting a tip ahead of time, hey, I have a $200 tab and then $50 for you. Why don't you take the $50 now and let me know when I get to $200? He's obviously going to be way nicer to you than if he has no idea what you're going to be tipping him. So I would highly recommend using your bar spend to your advantage. And also, maybe he wants you to order where the waitresses order, maybe they want you to order at the front of the bar. Find the manager, tell him what you're there to do, what brand you're with. You know, it's a 2-hour promotion most of the time, and you might only have 12 t-shirts and some drinks to work with. The slower the groove goes, if it's all part of the program, reminding the owner of the bar that you are there, you know, on behalf of Hendrix is important. You just gave Hendrix a plug. And mentioning that you just came from a training with Joe, that makes him know that you've trained and that they're out doing their thing. So have that dialogue, develop those relationships. You're there as a professional salesperson, not just a promo girl. You know, we have sales models. We want you to all, if you're interested, go on to careers in this business. So have that conversation and then ask him, we're here for 2 hours, where would we be, you know, the most effective or the less in the way? If a bar's not busy, I find that you guys get in trouble a lot more when a bar's dead, because you're there for 2 hours, you don't know what to do. The guy who owns the bar is probably embarrassed that it's not busy, and so you start talking to each other, or he offers you food to eat, and then the next thing you know he's calling and complaining the girl sat around and ate food. If a bar is busy, stay on your toes, stand near the door, try not to make chit chat, and do not get on your phones. Do not get on your phones. It stresses out clients and retailers like nothing else. So put your phones away. But when it's slow, be cognizant of that and just let the guy know. Realize that, you know, a retailer probably has a little bit of an ego issue involved with it. He feels like a lot of money's being wasted. Our clients have spent money for you to be there. Nobody's happy about it, and you're still being paid. So try to just stay on your toes and be aware of those situations. No eating, no drinking. Do not ask the bartender for a glass of water. It is annoying when you're hot 21 in a bar at night drinking and having fun. It is so annoying when you're the promo model. You can go 2 hours without a glass of tap water. You probably don't even drink it at home. So no water, don't ask for it. Pretend you work at a bank and you're behind the teller counter, and whatever you can do there, you can do at your promo. You wouldn't eat nachos, you know, you wouldn't ask for a glass of water. You're at work. On the slowing it down, talk to every single customer. There's a big rush to give away the t-shirts because it's easy. There's a big rush to give everybody a drink. Just make me a tray of drinks, put all 200 down, and give them away. And then you're done. You have 45 minutes to do nothing but make everybody wonder what the hell you're doing. So make a round with just a bottle in your hand. I'm here tonight with Hendrick's Gin. It's really great with cucumber. We've got some giveaways. Go table to table. You can judge just by who's paying attention who you should go back to. Then go back and say, hey, we have some samples here. I'd love it if you buy a drink, I'll buy you a drink. We're always buying drinks. But try to get someone to buy one before you give them one. You see a couple together and say, hey, I have an idea. I'll buy your girlfriend, I'll buy you a drink if you buy your girlfriend a drink. Or I'll buy your 2 friends a drink if you buy those 2 a drink. Now you've sold a couple of drinks. So think about how to sell and also how to slow down the pace. After everyone's had a chance to buy their own drink because you've been so engaging, then go around with your t-shirts and play a game if you want to make one up, or ask them if they remember anything that you taught them, or what did they like about it. Engage them in a conversation, and then make another round, give away your t-shirts, find out if you think they'll ever drink it again, and then leave. And if you work in that groove, you will stand out amongst your peers as better than any of the other companies. And does it sound that complicated? And I think it'll make it easier for you to really enjoy the 2 hours that you're there. Let's see, what other words of wisdom do we have? Can you make your thing work? The recap, you need to know your results, share your results, and report your results. Figure out how much you sold when you got there. I mean, you can tell how many people bought a drink, how many beers are on the table that weren't there before. There are ways, if the guy only has, you can ask him when you get there, how many bottles of Hendrick's Gin do you have? When he says 2, at the end of the night, how many do you have left? 1. Great, I sold the whole bottle. Figure out a way to track your results, to know what you actually did. Wow, I talked to 35 people tonight. I handed out, the tab says 25 drinks. I think I sold 25 more. Know that and understand that and be cognizant of that. Half the people liked it, half the people didn't. What they liked about it was refreshing. What they didn't like about it is it was bitter. Know all of those things off the top of your head. So if you're walking out and our customer walks in and said, how does it go? You say, well, I talked to about 100 people, 50 of them liked it, the other 50 thought it was too bitter, and I think I sold a bottle. You would blow away a client, and again, it's not that hard, right? But it would set us apart. It gets us more work. It makes everybody want to come work with us. It just makes everything better. And that's a level of information that you have to have. It doesn't have to be over the top. But again, it makes you sound smart. It makes you sound like you're engaged and professional, and that's what's important to us. Share your results with us. Share it on social media. I want more pictures. We have a new Facebook. What is it?
Bobby Beacon and
Beacon Brand Solutions. We need to go and you need to like the page Beacon Brand Solutions and post yourselves and your display or yourselves in your setting If a customer says it's okay, then you can put the customer on. If you're a Market Basket, don't put anybody on. If you're in a CVS, if you're in a chain, a Walmart, a CVS, a Walgreens, don't put consumers on. That would have to go through their corporate. But every place else, the independent liquor stores, go and like their pages. We need to get much, much more active on social media. We haven't done that in the past. And it's just such an easy way for everybody to know what everyone else is doing and to create, it shouldn't be that hard to generate a little bit of activity around that. So please like the page Beacon Brand Solutions. How many of you are on Twitter? Okay, so I'm at KB Beacon. I love it. So, feel free to tweet anytime, all the time. But mostly, like that page and start putting as much on there as you can. I think it'll help us in total to communicate. And then report your results on your event crew. Has everybody signed up on YEC yet? Raise your hand. You weren't all supposed to, so don't not raise your hand if you think you didn't do something you're supposed to. Some markets were using it and some markets were not. So raise your hand if you have a profile on your event crew. Okay, raise your hand if you're out of, is there anyone in Massachusetts who's not on your event crew yet? Oh, that's awesome. Just you, probably new. Okay. So we have a new software that we're using. It's called Your Event Crew. It helps to manage profiles. We're still learning its capabilities, but it's working well so far. As we learn it, we realize it has even more things that we can do, reporting things that we can do, but most importantly, your profile needs to be in there. And that's where you will, if you're in your event crew, you'll do your recaps through your event crew. If you're not, you'll continue to do them the same way. But please get those in a timely manner. Make sure you are sending photographs. The ideal photograph, not for Facebook, the ideal photograph for you to get paid is you with a consumer at your setup, whether it's the table or the bar. That's the ideal, because it says, wow, I was out tonight, I was at a Jim Beam promo with Target consumers that looked like this, and this is what I was wearing, and it was great. And it's a good photo for the client, and it's a good representation of, a little snapshot of what was happening when you were there. And share those things, and 90% of any payroll issues are related to reporting. 90%. It is so standard. And it's probably at 95%
96%.
now that Jim's doing it, it's much higher. So, most of it is reporting stuff. So make sure if you think that you have a payroll issue that you look at all the stuff you were supposed to do first, and then if you really believe that's all been done, then chase us and we'll take care of it.
And if you have an issue with pay, you email pay@beaconexp.com. I get it, our COO gets it, and we address it immediately. Typically what we do is the checks go out on the 15th, we get all the issues in, and then we resolve them on the 30th. So it should never be more than 2 weeks. When it is more than 2 weeks, I hate to say it, most of the time the problem rests with the people looking for the money, not the people paying.
There's a few things too on the payroll. It is extremely important that you all understand that you are 1099 employees. That means that this cannot be your sole income. Is there anyone who this is their only income? Okay, so are you a student? Okay, that's 1099 probably works because you're a student, but we should talk about it. There's a form on YEC that is just basically an affidavit that says you understand what a 1099 employee is and that you're responsible for your taxes. That's really important to us. You have to understand that by law you have to have other jobs or other income. It has to be, you're an independent consultant who's choosing to take jobs that we bring to you. We're probably going to create an invoice that you can submit to us. So you'll look at your schedule, we owe you for 8 hours. There'll be a template. You put in that we owe you for 8 hours and it's almost like a bill to us. But it's just very important because everybody's fine being a 1099 now, and then when they're no longer employed by us, they want to go to court and claim that they're due unemployment. And that opens it up to everybody's 1099s getting questioned, and all of you having to do the reporting later. So please understand, make sure you're very comfortable with the idea that you know the nuances of that, and that if we have an invoice for you to send to us, it's just another protection for you to show that you are sort of billing us as an independent consultant. Anything else on pay that we should touch on? Let me give you a little bit of an overview of the hierarchy because there's all different faces and names now. So Beacon Brand Solutions was founded by Jim and myself. We both have 20 years of liquor experience in various ways. We're in 50 states. So our biggest clients, we put some of the brands up here. We work with Jim Beam, who's owned by a company called Beam Suntory. We do Jim Beam Apple, Effin Vodka. We work closely with Corona Light. Corona Light's going to be doing a lot of work with us. Fireball, the hottest shot in the country. We do a lot of work with Fireball. The supplier of Fireball is Sazerac. The brands they have are Fireball, Dr. McGillicuddy's, and as such, their target consumer is a young adult male who's doing shots. Woodchuck and Gumption are owned by Vermont Hard Cider. They become a very big customer for us. We're working with them in many more states than just Massachusetts. As you know, we work with Maybelline and L'Oreal. Maybelline has been a client for 4 years. They're very big for us. They're in 50 states. When they do something, it could be as big as 2,000 events in a day. You know, the flagship pink and green mascara, you know, that's still their mainstay product. We still continue to promote that. It's actually what the company's named after. So the guy that invented Maybelline was a chemist, and his sister's name was Mabel, and he named it Maybelline. So, yeah, this one. You know, it's 100 years old. They still spend a lot of money in it, and it funds everything else that we do. So Maybelline is out of New York City. They own L'Oreal, Garnier, and they continue to grow as a client with us. In order to manage all that business, we have OSHA, who's working directly with Jim and I in Massachusetts. It's the biggest staffing job that we have in the country. We just hired Sean to work with us in Massachusetts, someone as an assistant to all of us. You can find him doing spreadsheets for me, delivering kits for OSHA, or posting things on social media. So he's got kind of an interesting hybrid job with us. We have Jessica White in New York City. She's been with us for 2 years. She manages the whole state of New York. She's phenomenal. She's got a voice like she's about 8 years old and runs circles around anybody else in the industry in New York. Maggie Zatarsky is in Connecticut. Maggie handles Connecticut and New Jersey. And we inherited her when her sister moved on to work for one of the distributors. So Callie Zatarsky gave me bad news and good news one day. Bad news, she was leaving. The good news is she had a sister. So Maggie handles a lot of business for us. And then we have Katie O'Connor, who handles the West Coast. And they all started as sales models. They all showed a propensity, like Sarah, who's here tonight somewhere, and has made it clear that they like it, that they can be good at it, and have asked to move up, and have done so. And, you know, I mean, it's as simple as we'll get a list of 500 Walmarts, and I send some states to Katie, and we send some states to OSHA, and, you know, Monday after the fact, somehow 800 girls showed up. And, you know, I thank you all 800 who show up, and I thank the managers who get them there, and I am here to sell more, to give you more work, to provide some guidance, because I've been doing it for a long time, and to make sure that you get paid and know that you're valued. And beyond that, hopefully you enjoy it, it's fun, and we can help you at some point either to earn a little bit more money or move on in your careers, but we're always here.
One of the things that's interesting is we got a brand, Karen and I, Woodchuck, which is owned by a huge company in London. And it started off with a handful of promotions in Boston, then they gave us the South Shore, then the North Shore, then the Cape, now New York, Chicago, and Florida. That's how it works. If we failed in Boston, we failed in Boston, then we don't grow, then we don't get the work, and that's how Karen started with Maybelline. So
Hey,
it's
Billy.
these little brands, and every little brand we get matters.
Good, how
We
you
just
doing?
picked up another new brand today, Truro Vineyards down at Cape, and 20 Bolt Rum. The CEO is a friend of ours. He's going to give us 60 promotions, but he's in 50 states. But they're not going to keep you 50 states if you screw up the one you live in. And I've been known to do that, but not Karen. I don't know what the hell she's doing now.
Well, the owner of this bar is checking in to make sure we're having a good time.
So you guys want to take a little break for a second and reconvene, or do you want to grab something to drink? It's up to you. Yeah, I see you will not. This is not going to
Karen, you want us to start the sampling?
Hold on, this is the owner of the Great Tomorrow.